All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I want to cover two on this one. I'm a little late and I got something at 2 o'clock, but we'll look at now, like you see on the screen, and then we'll look at SOFI. All right, and I think respectfully, both of them are probably seeming like what's going on. This thing was pushing the 300s, a little less than 200s. All of a sudden came down to where you see it and it's trying to recover, right? And we'll obviously talking about that, trying to recover a lot. SoFi, I can easily tell you, I assumed this was going to be a $40 stock, not a $15 stock, right? But again, there are things that happen in the market that just make absolutely no sense. Even the CEO of NVIDIA basically said, hey, the market is wrong about now. And my sincere comment to that is, hey, the market's never wrong. Market is crazy most of the time. It is completely irrational, hard to explain, adjectives along that, right? But hey, it's never wrong. The only fact that matters is the price that we see, at close, right? Even after hours, and hey, I see this going up after hours, but even after hours is a little on the gray area of what's real and what's not, right? But it's crazy that both dropped as much. It's also as crazy as those dropped that much, right? Like look at QQQ, right? And in this view of QQQ, that's not what SoFi all the way down here instead of what looked like kind of flat and then takes back off, right? Let's come back to QQQ, right? This is basically upper flat until the craziness, right? Now let's go back to now. Right? This is almost the complete opposite of it, right? So normally when the index is calm, the stock should follow it. And that's definitely not what was happening here, right? So all that said, I'm going to say it one more time. Each of these have a nice recovery starting, all right? And that's basically what we're looking for. And I did just flash it, but I'll do it one more time. NASDAQ is still looking good. That is a very strong QQQ. S&P 500, SPY, both looking very good, very strong. Just nice candles over the 8 moving average, right? Where's the Dow Jones? Has this thing started to? Hey, that's one of the nicer takeoffs on the Dow Jones. Nice. We're starting to see it actually go. Look at that golden cross. The 50 is actually over the 100 right there. I like that. Hey, I want all three to be in unison, right? I generally focus on tech stocks. So if the NASDAQ and if NASDAQ and S&P 500 are doing well, that's kind of good enough for me, right? But when all three are doing really well, oh, that's a beautiful trading moment right there. All right. So, cool. Before we do go any further, though, and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. I don't think I have any. I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel, share this online, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these algorithms, but hey, just being here, giving me your time, I appreciate you so much, all right? So let's talk about now. And I really started liking now around here. If I'm not mistaken, now might be a tough one to find. Oh yeah, around here. This is the one on the 28th. Is that this candle right here? Boom, it's on the 28th. This was the candle I liked, all right? So 2 things. Number 1, I love a doji candle on an interesting place, all right? I really like it when the interesting place is one of these computer-generated lines, all right? And that is a beautiful doji. It's all like that is a textbook doji, and we'll talk about the yesterday to today, right? But I'm not a real hardcore candle dude, so to me, this and this, they're the exact same doji, all right? And as you zoom out and zoom out and zoom out, look, the last time we were really over that 100 moving average line in blue was back here in July of last year. And really, I have to zoom all the way to right here, basically January of last year. That was the last real good moment we were well over it before we lost it and then really never came back, right? So we are more than a full year away from a nice strong uptrend over that 100 moving average, all right? And to me, on that 28th, let's see if I can click into it. That's all I really wrote. Whatever, it happens. But look, it started making me believe. It started making me believe if we can you break the 8, you go to the 20. You break the 20, you go to the 50. You break the 50, you go to the 100. If you break the 100, you go to the 200. And I started to believe we were going to make our way up to that roughly 141 number that the 200 moving average is sitting at, right? That's when you have really good spacing, when you have red, like let me just draw these lines, right? I'm going to delete them real quick. But from here to here, all I really see is red, green, red, and then just so much nothing for the last 2 months. That really made me believe green to 140 was going to hit, and that's basically what we got in those 2 candles, right? So listen, I know it sounds silly. I know it sounds like these silly little rhymes, but I promise you, it's simple for a reason, all right? So I really like this doji. You could see the MACD was doing well. Even on that day, look in the RSI over there, it was only 67. It felt like there was room to take it on up. And volume was starting to pick up, all right? So let's talk about yesterday. This is a textbook doji, all right? This is a $135 stock, and we moved 33 cents in 7 hours, right? Look in the box over there. You can see we started at 135.53. We closed at 86, all right? Some people thought we should have gone up. Some people thought we should have gone down. End of the day, we basically moved 30 cents, absolutely nothing, right? That is uncertainty. And it's basically at an important line. This one was completely on it. This one was just under it, right? And I started to believe either we were going to gap up and make our way to like right here, basically this little horizontal, or hey, look, we were going to fail. Because again, I got to zoom all the way back out to this same little area, right? Once we lost this 200, we tried to get back, and then never again, right? So, it's a tough line. And even this 100 moving average that we broke, we at least had to kind of try here and then really use that 8 moving average to kind of carry us over, right? So right now, what I think I'm expecting is us to come around here. Maybe right there. Look, again, I'm not here for perfect, right? But basically half of this candle right here, it's almost a perfect 121. I really don't want to go below that. And I think if we can just wait a couple days, it kind of looks like the 8 moving average will eventually get there over the next couple days, right? If we lose this 121, I think we'll come down to this 118. All right. And realistically, that's kind of the lowest I would like to go. And hey, that's where the 8 moving average should for sure hit this thing. Right. So look, I don't want to drop from 127 to 118. That is a little bit less than a 10% drop if I'm doing the math in my head correctly. But nonetheless, right, just kind of play it and see. Again, I see it going up after hours, and that's definitely a solid thing. Right. So if that does happen, if we do continue on up, I think that's what I'm looking for. I think I'm looking for 130.50. Let's go, 131 even. Let's call it 131. If you can break $131, I think you will then retest that 141 that we were looking for. All right, so I'll draw that line down, and then I think the next line up I want to draw is this. Let's go just a little higher. Yeah, that's too small. Let's do that. It's a bunch of tops and bottoms. So, sorry. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. It looks like it also hits that. And then the next place I would draw is right there. Okay, cool. So look, this is basically what I'm looking for. If, like I said, we can get over 131, the next target's going to be 141. Okay? I want to see what this looks like. I think this is the better line. Break 143. Oh, look, I didn't want to use this little insignificant green one. I saw it and I was like, I don't think I want to use it. And lo and behold, that was the answer. So we want to get over, if you can break 143, I think we'll go to 162. And 143 is nicely over that 200 moving average. So I can see that. I can see that being a good confirmation line. All right. Oops. Sorry, doing the wrong thing. Again, you saw I wanted to draw a line around 150, give or take. It was like 147. Maybe keep that in your back pocket, but I think as I zoomed out and I really saw what was going on, it's just red, green, nothing, red, nothing. Give me that green on up, right? So I think I like this right here. Again, this thing can come as low as 121. And even with this thing going up after hours, hey, I'm going to call out 121, and maybe even that 117 is a possibility going into tomorrow, okay? That said, get me over that and let's start breaking some moving averages. The last thing I want to talk about is this RSI. So I mentioned this on Twitter. And I thought it was actually kind of interesting. Look how far back I'm zooming out. I'm basically going back to 2024, 2023. All right. We have seen way dumber stocks, and I say that with all due respect, and trust me, my money goes into those dumb stocks more than they go into the real established ones, right? But we have seen dumber stocks, sillier tickers, get like 89, 95, 97 RSI readings, just pushing up and living up horizontally, living in the 90s for days and weeks, right? For whatever reason, now has struggled to get over an 83 RSI. And look, you hear me say it all the time. I actually ring the alarm bell at 80. So hey, it does kind of technically make sense that 83 is very difficult because it's over the alarm bell range, right? But now has not lived over this line since 2-3 years ago. Right? So sometimes I say this, right? As you get to know a stock a little better, you'll kind of see how indicators matter more than they do to others, right? And, I think you got to keep this 83 RSI in your back pocket. This is kind of the current max until we see something otherwise, right? Because again, you can see after those two relatively consistent moments, those are at least within the last couple months of each other, right? We're basically never over that line except for this one little anomaly right there and then just right back under, right? So I do like this consistent volume growth. I do like this MACD. I'm a little annoyed we can't go higher than 83, but whatever. At least I know now, right? So keep that in your back pocket. Let's see what happens. But there's way more to like than not like on now, all right? And then, yeah, this is a good weekly. You can see that 143 is going to become an interesting point because it's probably going to be a battle of two moving averages right there, right? But again, you can see it. Just so much red that could turn green with the momentum going and just volume looking well. And yeah, there's way more to like than not like right here. All right. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Listen, it's funny. I don't want to chapter these together, but like they are the same comment. I'm telling you, I sincerely believe this was going to break 30 and go into 40, into 50, into 60, into 70, into 80, into 90, into become a $100 stock. So many times I zoomed out and was like, hey, look at this, and then look at Palantir. And it did this, and then it went crazy, right? Like I am not pretending that did not happen, right? But again, I'm not here calling the market crazy. I'm not here saying this thing is wrong, doesn't deserve to be this or that. It's just, dude, it's the sad realities that this market is crazy. And when you lose a bunch of moving averages, you're going to fall to the next one below it. And then when you lose all the moving averages, you either break all 5 up and fly, or you lose all 5 down and you die, right? And it's sad, but it did happen here, okay? That said, things are improving. All right, we've tried to get over this 50. We're now trying again to get over this 50. And really, more than anything, I'm actually starting to wonder, are we going to get over this 100 moving average? I'm not talking about BBAI on this video, but it's kind of the same thing I saw with BBAI. We lost them all and we fell and it was horrible. All of a sudden, we started making our way on up. All of a sudden, I started to think, hey, if we can break the 100, we can go to the 200. And red, nothing, green, right? Like those are the exact same things I'm about to say right now. If we can get over this 100, there's a beautiful channel all the way up to the 200. And all I really see between this line and this line is red, nothing, to hopefully a good green right there, right? So this is at least trying. And really, I'm looking for this to get over 19, right? My line is at 1894. You can basically round that up to 19 right there, right? But get me over that, and it feels like some real good trading right there. Oh, excuse me. I need water. One sec. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Right? You know, I will say it's a little tough that we came down, obviously, right? But we've also not been over that 100 moving average for a good long time. And really, it's been since roughly end of last year, right? Like I see that we were over it a little bit in January, but the uptrend ends like right here, right? So you know, it's been a tough line the entire year. It's actually been an untouched line even through those last three candles. We still have not touched the line yet, right? So makes sense that we couldn't do it on the first attempt, even though volume was actually really nice on that attempt right there, right? So let's just wait for the 8 moving average, I think is my best thought. So, oh, we're already at 50% of that candle. All right, looks like I think the next line down is probably 1715. All right, roughly speaking, that's probably where the 8 moving average and the candle will land. Maybe it'll be a little closer to like 1730. I think that'd be a little cooler, but I think that's basically what I'm looking for. Let's find some support around 1730, 1740, and bounce back up to a very critical 19. All right, looking at the weekly, look, there's a lot happening on the weekly. All right, there are 3 moving averages, very, very tight. All right, and it's hard to get back over the 8 and the 20. And it kind of seems like this 100 moving average is doing its best job to like hold it there, right? So this is a little tough. There's a lot going on. It's hard to escape one line. It's hard to escape 2 lines. 3 is more than half of the 5 that we follow, right? But this 50 moving average is basically right on the line. And red, 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 green, green, green. It really is saying get me over 19 and we'll go to 22. That's that exact same thing that I see right here, right? So I think it's much safer to wait for 19. But again, people have different risk reward tolerances and trading timelines, right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you so, so much.